Guess what just arrived? The Eid outfit. So, my Eid outfit just came from Senegal and I'm gonna try it on and see how it fits for you. Okay, so we have it on now. So as you can see, it looks amazing, honestly. It fits for the most part, but the waist is a little big as well as the top right here. So I'm actually gonna show you guys how to alter a strapless dress. So I think about like an inch on each side should kind of hold it up, and then about like 3/4 on the waist as well. Hard for me to pin. It's gonna be hard for me to pin this on myself, but I kind of I'm taking like a mental note of about how much I need to take off here and here, as well as the back like this. So I'm gonna transfer this onto my mannequin and I'll pin it on there so you guys can see exactly how I pin it to prepare it. Okay guys, so our dress is on the mannequin. I got my pins over here and I'm gonna show you guys how to fit it um, to your body. So remember I already took a mental note of how much I needed to take in. So I had about like an inch up here and 1/4 of an inch in the waist and a little bit in the back. So I'm gonna show you guys how to pin it. If you are fitting it on yourself, try to get somebody else to do it on you. But since I don't have anybody and I already know my measurements, I can just do it on my mannequin. All right, let's get started. Okay, so with alterations, you always want to make it as easy on you as possible. So don't try to take it in like at some random spots. Always look for seams. So side seams, any side seams are always a good place to start. If it's something that needs more shaping, then you can. I always like taking it in on the darts in the here because that way it when you take it in from here, it gives you more of a curve in the back. Like it shapes your body a lot better. So always look for seams. So there's a seam right there. We could take it in from here, but I think we're gonna go in through the side seams this time. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we did about an inch up here. And another thing is a lot of Senegalese tailors, whenever they make clothes, they always leave about like over almost 2 inch allowance inside. So if this was too small on me, I could let it out. So that's a good thing about a lot of their tailors. Ready-made clothes here, they don't usually have anything inside, so it's very difficult to let it out. But luckily with Senegalese tailors, they always leave a good amount inside. So if this was small on me, I could let it out. But since it's big, we're going to go ahead and take it in. We did about an inch, so I'm going to pin that in. And this is the same thing you would do on your body. I'm just showing it to you guys on the mannequin. And then I marked, when I was wearing it, I put a pin right where I need to stop because it does fit me perfectly in the hip area. It's just up here. So I put a pin where exactly I need to stop. That way I don't want to go past the hip because then it'll be too tight in the hip area. Okay. So we were gonna do about 1/2 inch in the waist area. So we're gonna kind of estimate. You can also use your measuring tape to measure exactly how much 1/2 inch. But with my experience, I already know how much that measures, so I just eyeball it. And then I'll blend it in the middle here. Okay. And then where I stop here, that you just blend it in, like kind of start at a very tiny space, leave a very tiny space there, and then go up and blend it into the waist. So, and we'll do the other side. I'm gonna bring you guys close up. So about an inch up here. About 1/2 inch down here. The material over here is very thick, so that's why it's taking me a little bit longer. So just be careful, don't hurt yourself with the pins. I'll just leave it like that for now. And then we go up here and blend it in. And then same thing, since this is where we're gonna stop, I will just blend it up, kind of taper it down to that spot right there. Right there. And I'll put another one here. Go on to the back. So to kind of give it more shape here, we're gonna take about 1/2 inch on this dart right here to kind of give you that curve in your back. So we'll do 1/2 inch here. That's it. So we pin the back a little bit, pin the sides, and then I'm gonna take it off, and then I'll show you guys how to mark it as well as how to sew it. So we'll move it over to my sewing machine. All right. Okay, guys, welcome to my little sewing area. So I got my matching thread. I got my empty bobbin case, and then first I'm gonna thread my bobbin first, and then we'll get started on the dress after that. Okay. Okay, that's enough thread. So I like to trim this thread at the top. Now we're gonna insert our bobbin case. On your machine may not have this, but I have a bobbin case, so this is how I insert it. Like, put it through that little slit, slide it down, and then this faces up, and then you'll just insert that into your machine. There's like a little hole where that just slides in. And before I close it up, I want to pull my bobbin thread up, and how I do that is I thread this properly. Like, if you have this machine, you can just follow the instructions on your machine and it will show you exactly how to do it, but you can watch how I'm doing it right now. And then you thread it right there, thread it down there, and I'll thread the needle from front to back. And what I'll do, I'll put this underneath the presser foot, and then I'll slide the needle down using this lever right here, and then pull it up, and then I'll pull this upper thread, and if you can see, it pulls up a loop of the bobbin thread that was underneath. So now I have both of these threads up, and I'll just slide both of them back. I like to trim it a little bit, so you can trim it just so it's not in the way, and then you can close it and put these back in. Okay, so now our machine is fully threaded. Now we can get to the good stuff. Alright, so this is the dress that we pinned on our mannequin / body. And I'm going to show you guys how to mark it, okay? First, before we get to the sewing part. So I'll just fix these pins that were like hard to put in while we were sewing. So what you first do is you're going to flip the dress inside out first. and then find the seams. Okay, so we had pinned from the inside, we pinned the sides as well as the back. It is going to look a little bit different on the inside, so this is how it would look, but this is pinned on the outside, and we can't really sew this on the outside. We have it sewed from the inside. So what I usually do, my trick is I'll flip it inside out and I'll mark where I see the pins from the inside, and I'll show you how this is very helpful later on. So you mark from the top where you see the dress pinned on both sides, and you want to use a contrasting color chalk. So if this was white, I can use the same blue one. If this is a blue dress, I would have to use a different color. Like I have different color chalks, like yellow. You can get those on Amazon. So that helps for you to see it while you're sewing. So I'll go all the way on this side, all the way down, marking where I see the pins. And all the way here. So remember, this is where we tapered it, so you'll see that this is much closer to the seam than the top. And I'll do the same thing on this side as well. Okay. So this one, the pin didn't go through, but it was about 1/2 inch in the waist area, so I'll just mark that 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. And then about here there's a pin right there. So we'll just mark that and taper it in. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, the same exact thing. Okay, and then now we'll move on to the back. Remember, we had pinned the back as well. We'll do the same thing over here. Just take this. Same thing on this side. Okay, now that we're done, from the inside, we're gonna go and take those pins out. And take those pins out. Take it out, out, out. Okay, so when you flip it over now, this is what you get. See, that markings that we put on there is right there. So when we no longer need the pins. They're right there. So we know we have a guide when we're sewing the dress. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is comes to the back. I'm gonna rip the seam up, take the seam up a little bit because the sides I could just sew directly down, but in the back here the way it's sewn down, I need to lift that up. So I use a razor, but you can use a seam ripper. I just feel like the razor is faster, so that's what I tend to use. Okay, so I took out the one at the bottom. You can take out the one at the top as well. And then I will rip out a little bit, like from here to here, not all the way. You don't want to rip that waist seam all the way. I'll just rip it out a little bit here. Okay, so I have about enough to be able to have room to sew. So this gives me room to be able to lift this piece up and sew it down. So now that I have that together, I can lift it up and pin. So we have about 1/2 inch that we marked, and I can just hold my finger right there and pin it right there. And this just gives me a guide of, so this side we were stopping right there. So over here we can mark that as well. And then just blend these two pins together. And then up here, so since I took the top part from the skirt, I took it in, there's going to be a little bit of room here, so we're going to have to match it. We're going to have to match this piece to this, and I'll have to take it in a little bit up here as well. That way when I'm sewing these two together again, they're even, you know. Okay, so I'll do the same thing up here. Okay, and then this side, just follow the marks that you originally did. So we stopped like right here, so I'll pin right there. Be careful here, there is like a embroidery that's here, so if your machine is not strong enough, you can try to rip this off and like kind of be careful while you're sewing it. But I'm gonna attempt it on mine and see how it goes. So right there, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, and then this side. Now we're gonna sew. Okay, so I'm gonna start on this side. I already put my pins in and I have my marks in there just for extra guidance. So I'll place my presser foot down and then just sew. And you want to back stitch just to keep that top part secured. And then you're going to be removing the pins as you do as well. So this is the area where that embroidery is at the waist, so just be careful with your needle. And then taper it down, back stitch. Okay, so I'll do this other side first, and then I'll do the move on to the back. Okay, now we'll move on to the back over here. Okay, same thing for the top. Okay, so since I have all of this allowance that I don't need, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this extra sleeve allowance. And I'll do the same thing over here as well. Okay, so since these were separated, we're gonna sew these together as well. So when you flip it over, it's seamless and smooth. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. We did the side already, we just need to do the back. Okay, so we'll go ahead and trim over here as well. Okay, so we're done. As you can see, it's seamless on the inside now. We'll just do a few more trimmings. And then I would recommend you open the seams and press it down with your iron. Let's open these seams. That way it's a lot more smooth when you try it on again. Alrighty guys, y'all ready for the final review? Okay, let's go. It's giving snatched to the gods. Okay, so we did that together. We took in the sides, the waist, as well as the back to give it that shapely curve. And I think it looks beautiful. And we're ready for Eid. You know, there's another piece that goes with this outfit. There's another over piece, but I'm not gonna show it right now. I'm gonna do a final review on Eid day. So we'll do a get ready with me, and I'll show you guys how I style it, accessorize, shoes, purse, and everything. So yeah, stay tuned. Hope you guys love that tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time.